So again, I posted MVI 1621. Sadly, there is no one. And I want to share one of the comments that one of my viewers made. Gabe, as you mentioned, Putin, is he a man who would pursue an obvious crime against humanity at a world justice level? What happened on 9/11 has adversely affected humanity on a global scale. Putin has a vested interest in obtaining a punitive judgment. I agree with you that more than adequate proof exists that 9/11 was an inside job, and we all know who was behind it. Well, the sad part is we don't all know. As you later on say, the majority of people are totally clueless. It's difficult for people to accept reality in some instances. This is one of those instances. My comment about if this can be proven was aimed at the millions of Americans who incredibly still believe the official narrative. If the majority of Americans were convinced, I believe we would have such an outcry that it would be heard around the world. The stupidity of the majority of the American people can be likened to a terminal illness that is rotting America away. You go up to someone and you ask them a political question, 9 out of 10 people won't even know what you're talking about. If you ask them who the first president was, 9 out of 10 people won't know what you're talking about. If you ask them the latest NFL score, or who's on top in the NFL, they'll rattle off the players' names, birth dates. They'll rattle off the children they have, if they have children. It's absolutely and totally amazing. What matters doesn't matter. What doesn't matter matters. Does that make any sense? We've got definitive proof that 9/11 never happened. We've got definitive proof that Sandy Hook never happened. We've got definitive proof that the Virginia shooting never happened. We've got all kinds of definitive proof that people simply choose to ignore. Why? Because it's less painful. This media, our media, is corrupt. Our government is corrupt. Our senators, for the most part, and our congressmen, for the most part, are corrupt. In some of my videos, I talked about Donald forming a third party, and then I clarified and explained that he need not form a third party because there is no second party. And if the Donald can get that message through to the American people that he's not starting a third party, he's resurrecting what now no longer exists. The Republican Party has morphed into and with the Democratic Party. If that were true, we wouldn't be where we are right now. This jackass at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue would never have gotten a second term. They pick losers intentionally. They picked Senator John McCain, who was a loser, which gave the presidency to the freak in '08. Then they picked a whacked out Mormon. You see what Mitt Romney's all about now. He's a whacked out Mormon. He's a cult follower. There isn't a hell of a lot of difference between him and his beliefs. They don't chop off heads, they disembowel. They're all nuts. But the GOP picks losers so they can get these Democratic freaks into power. You think this guy is even remotely sane? Huh? You think Hillary with her flashing eyes is even remotely sane? That's your Democratic Party. How many videos have I made to try to educate African American people about Democrats? How many videos have I made that I talked about the KKK and who formed the KKK? Democrats. Who brought about and implemented the Jim Crow laws? Democrats. Who was against immigration in the late 20s and early 30s? Democrats. Who brought black slaves to America? Muslims. So what do the American people do? They allow a Muslim Arab into the White House. And what did he do? He transformed America. He pretty much destroyed America. Democrats. I sort of transgressed. It's easy to do.